Hey, you Blind Beauty here. Welcome back to my channel. You see that title. This is my story about finding out I was pregnant, my honest reaction. If you want to go along this journey with me and my pregnancy as a blind mommy, stay tuned. Okay, so we're back in the mix like Harmony Grits. So I just want to thank you guys so much for all the support that I have had on this channel. I know initially a lot of my channel has been reactions and it's just kind of been all over the place. I'm trying to shift into lifestyle. Of course, still do music because I am a writer, I am an artist, and that's a part of who I am. But becoming a mommy is like a part of my life. So I want to share my lifestyle with you guys. It's going to be tuned in for so much. So I was supposed to be doing a series on my plastic surgery journey. How that turned into a pregnancy series, IDK. So first of all, if I sound a little winded, it is because I am winded. I'm pregnant AF. And I need to be hydrating. My last appointment, I was not doing really well with my hydration. So if you see me picking up my water, just bear with me. So anyway, finding out I was pregnant. We're just gonna jump right into this because I know a lot of girlies, they do all of these extracurricular topics, but I'm gonna just jump right into the meat and potatoes. So, okay. I went to go get my body done. I got a tummy tuck, lipo, BBL, the whole nine. If you guys want to really know about that, let me know because I have the footage for that. And I'll put that on the channel as well, just so that you can ask me any questions about what my plastic surgery journey was like. I did a vlog, I did it all. So anyway, I was about 4 months post-op. I know that's really bad. I was 4 months post-op and I found that I was pregnant. And when you go get your body done, they tell you, be careful because when you're preparing for surgery, you have to take so many vitamins, minerals, iron. You have to take folic acid, which is something that you also take when you are pregnant. So you have to take folic acid, you have to take folate, you have to take all of these vitamins. You're gearing your body up to go under surgery. You're going to be losing blood. You're depending on what you're getting, even if you're just getting a boob job, you have to prepare your body for surgery. So you can imagine your body's at its tip-top shape. So imagine going into surgery, your body's good, you're feeling good, your nutrition is up to par, you're exercising, you're at the best time to become pregnant. So if you are doing the nasty, you're going to get pregnant. And I had not had the baby dance in a year. So I'm not gonna meet nobody. Girl, we not having sex. What? Sex what? Sex who? Sex where? Who's doing that? Not me. Okay. So I was about to tell y'all the gender. We're not doing that yet. I met my baby's father. Okay. I met my baby's father. Y'all want to know that story? That could be a separate story. Maybe he could be in that video. He could say hi. Say hi. He's so trash. But, because what's going on? But anyway, so I met my child's father, and obviously we were doing the do. When I got pregnant with my first son, if you guys kind of want to know about that and what that was like for me, for my mommies out there that have ever had a miscarriage, that have ever lost a child after birth and things like that, I understand. I think I'm at a place where I'm ready to talk about it, but I'm only going to talk about it if it's something that somebody requests. So anyway, the first time I got pregnant with my son, it took 7 months to get pregnant. We were actively trying to get pregnant. We were trying, but we weren't trying. And it took about 7 months. So I'm just there's no way, even though we're not using protection, there's no way I'm going to get pregnant. I know that sounds stupid, but it's when you know your body, you know your ovulation, you know your cycle, you just don't think it's going to happen to you. So we're doing the do, we're doing it often, and he's using the pull-out method. Okay. I don't believe in birth control just because the times that I've had birth control, all of the hormones, it's thrown me out of whack. So anyway, long story short, we had a pregnancy scare, okay? I remember this like it was yesterday. My period, I know when my body is preparing for my period. And if you know anything about pregnancy or trying to conceive, you understand that PMS symptoms are very similar to early pregnancy symptoms. They're like sometimes identical. Even the nausea, like some girlies, you comment put in the comment section below. Do you have nausea during your period? Like, let me know, because sometimes somebody may say like, oh well, I'm nauseous, so maybe I'm pregnant. No, your hormones are so crazy during that time that it can cause nausea. So I feel like my period is coming and it just doesn't come the day. Usually it'll be like the exact day, or like maybe a day early or a day or two late. Like, it's usually around the same time. I can set my period to a timer. So long story short, period came. Then when was that? Was that October? Was that like the next month? I'm asking you. Huh? You're so trash. He walked away. He can't help me with the dates. But anyway, so I'm scratching because like I'm getting stretch marks and I need to probably moisturize my belly more. So anyway, pretty much maybe like a month later, the same thing happens. I know my ovulation days to the T to the Q. Not only that, I know how I feel when I'm ovulating. I know the symptoms that I have. And honestly, some ladies, you let me know in the comment section below. Can you feel when you go, like when your egg is released? It usually for me is released on my right side. So for me, I can feel it. Y'all let me know, can y'all feel it? I'm very in tune with my body. Like I can feel things happening. My cervical mucus, and also TMI, this video, we're gonna be talking about female things, lady parts. If you don't wanna know about that, then this one's not for you. But anyway, so I just know my body. So we did the do one day before I ovulated, I think on ovulation day, and I think we did it like 2 times in one day after I allegedly ovulated. So when we did it, we both stood up after we were finished and was like, oh shoot, like no, this is, no, we can't do this. And I don't believe in the morning after pill or the plan B. I don't believe in things like that. And I know that sounds so crazy and so irresponsible for somebody that was not trying to become pregnant. But it's just like, because I know like how those things have affected my body, I just don't. So it's just like, I have this type of mindset. Like, if you're having sex and you're having sex unprotected, if you get pregnant, that's on you. Like, that's on you. I also don't believe in abortion, but we'll talk about that further into this story. So anyway, everything is fine. I'm like, no, my period is coming. Like, I feel my period. Like, my boobs are getting tender. Like, I feel like it's coming. Like, it's coming. So it was a few days late. So I'm just like, this is normal. But I'm getting a little bit nauseous at the same time, which I'm like, this is also normal. I'm having like the little light period cramps. I'm like, this is also normal. So I'm thinking it's coming. We good. I'm not pregnant. It's cool. So I wake up one morning before I was going to go to work, and I really felt these pregnancy cramps. I'm like, oh man, by the time I get to work, my period is going to be fully flowing. So let me take some Tylenol, because I don't want to like be all blah at work. So let me take some Tylenol with me and we'll see, how it goes. I get to work. My period does not come. And usually when you're trying to conceive, they always say use your first morning urine to do the test. And I was like, man, look, I don't care about the time of day. When I get home, if my period is not on, I am taking a test from the Poppy store. Like, if you know anything about Philadelphia, New York City, whatever the city, the Bodega Poppy store, you can get a pregnancy test there, like the really cheap ones, right? So anyway, I get home and I'm just like, so my period didn't come. I'm like, can you just run to the store and just get a test? He was like, all right. So I'm on the phone with Jasmine, which is one of my besties. So I'm on the phone with Jasmine. I'm like, yeah, like I'm about to just take this test right now, like whatever. So I peed, and he's sitting there. He does the test and he says a 4-letter word. Do you remember what you said? Yes. You said the F word. Yeah. So he says that, and I'm like, what does it say? He was like, you're pregnant. He was like, I just knew it. Like, I knew it. Like, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I was just like, it was too much for me to process at the time. And I'm on the phone with Jasmine. She was like, what does it say? And I said, he's saying that it says positive, but you know, it's the Poppy store. You know, they really cheap. Like, you know, maybe it's not, you know, maybe, you know, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Like, so I'm in denial. So then I'm like, you know what? Let me just DoorDash a pregnancy test, the digital test, Clear Blue, first response, whatever. So I do all of that. I get in the shower and I DoorDash it, and I said, okay, let's do this again. I use the digital test. Now, the digital test, if you're far enough along, it will say pregnant or not pregnant. It doesn't do, we're not doing the lines. We're not trying to strain our eyes to see if, no, it needs to say pregnant or not pregnant. I take the test, it says positive. So, to be honest, my honest reaction in that moment, like, I didn't really know how to feel because, to be really honest, like, my child's father, like, we hadn't known each other for that long. We were still getting to know each other. We were being very, very irresponsible, if I'm going to be really frank. Like, so one thing you need to know about me in this journey of pregnancy, I'm going to be very honest. Like, I'm not going to try to pretty it up and be like, oh my God, like, we were so excited. We were planning, like, we've been together for, no, we had just met and we were being very irresponsible. And so, girls, if you are watching this, do not be like me. Be responsible. But guess what? Life happens, and sometimes we have a plan and God has another one. So, you know, I'm happy regardless. And I keep wanting to say the gender. That's gonna be really hard because I'm so used to just saying the gender. But anyway, so my first reaction, I was very nervous. I was scared. I was a lot of things, and I was most scared about telling my family. So let's go ahead and just shift into that. So my family is very, very protective of me, but they let me live my life for the most part. Like, they kind of let me do what I want to do or whatever, and I'm an adult, you know? I'm 30 years old, so they kind of let me live my life, but they're very hands-on at the same time. So I was scared to tell my mom. I called my mom. I told her. I texted her. I said, you know, I'm actually thinking about doing what I don't believe in, which is abortion. And so these conversations are very important because it is the reality of life. Sometimes we may be in a situation where we may choose to keep our baby. We may choose to abort the baby. We may choose adoption, depending on the circumstance. You never know what you'll do until you're in that situation. I never thought that I would ever think about abortion, especially because I lost my son. So here I am thinking about abortion. Here I am calling my mom, and I'm sorry. Here I am calling my mom, and I'm telling her, and her opinion initially was like, you know, honestly, you spent so much money on getting your body done. You did so much work with losing the weight. And she's like, you know, I know we don't believe in this, but maybe it'll be a good idea, right? So I said, you know what? I'm going to think about it. I'm going to pray about it, and I'm going to come to a decision, and then we're going to just go from there. So it didn't really take me long to come to that decision because I just could not bring myself to do it. My mindset was like, Lord, first of all, I know I shouldn't even be having sex outside of marriage. Like, I already know I'm in the wrong. I've already lost my son previously, and I don't want to be the one. I said, if you keep me healthy and keep this pregnancy healthy and I carry this baby to term, I'm going to keep them. I don't want to be the one to go and terminate. And I had that thought and feeling from the very beginning. But obviously I swayed back and forth because, you know, the relationship that I was in was very tumultuous, to be quite frank. We weren't even really official. Like, if we're going to be really honest, like, we were not official. So imagine not having a lot of history with a person and you're having to decide whether or not you're going to keep their child. Especially he already had other kids. Like I said, if you wanted to know about that, request that. I'm not going to just, you know, expose that. But anyway, so long story short, I end up moving back to Atlanta. So I'm in Atlanta. I get home. My mom already knows that I'm coming, and my child's father is not with me, obviously. And because it just didn't work out at that time. And so I come home. My mom is the only person that knows. I had not told my brothers yet because my brothers act like they're my father, rightfully so. They're very protective of me. I care about what they think a really great deal. And so if you have siblings that are like that, whether it's female or male, you know that feeling when you have to tell them something and you know they're not going to be happy. They knew that I have been working so hard to lose weight. They knew what I was trying to do with my career, with music, with writing, and all of these different opportunities. And I know they didn't want this for me. So I was scared. And so I got home and my mom was like, have you talked to the child's father? And I was like, no, I haven't talked to him. And she was like, okay, well, you just need to relax and, we just gotta prepare. My brothers, there, it's very difficult for me to lie and act like things are not happening because I was not visibly pregnant at the time. However, I felt pregnant. I'm getting up in the middle of the night. I'm eating. Which are things that I usually don't do. So my brother saw me doing that and he was like, oh, dang, you needed a little midnight snack. I was like, yeah, bro, like I'm hungry. So the next morning I said I wanted to talk to him. And he said, okay, what's up? So I said, I'm pregnant. And he was like, why? I was like, because I had sex? Like, I don't understand. So anyway, long story short, my family then gets into the mindset of wanting me to not keep the baby because of the relationship with the father and because of what I wanted to do with my career. And I actually boarded a plane. I felt pressured, but I also was going back and forth in my mind as well. I boarded a plane because in the state of Georgia, you are not able to get an abortion after a certain time. I was way far along. I was like 10 weeks. I was too far along to get one. I'd either have to go to North Carolina or somewhere else. But in the state of Delaware, which is so crazy, you can be 24 weeks pregnant. At that time, you can feel the baby kick you and still have an abortion. So I got on a plane. One of my best friends came to pick me up, Rocco. He's also my engineer. He came to pick me up to take me to the appointment. I was on the phone with one of my other really good friends, Bree, and we were just talking about everything. And long story short, I could not bring myself to do it. I couldn't do it. I talked to the person, the doctor, and she was just like, you don't seem like you're sure. And you need to be sure. And so I will say anything just out of my personal experience. This is not something that you should go into lightly. Like when I made this decision, I was like, it's going to be hard either way. If I have an abortion, it's going to be hard. Especially given that I lost my son. You know what I'm saying? I went through labor. I went through delivery. Like I went through the process and I lost my son in a very tragic accident, in a very tragic way. And so it's going to hurt if I do an abortion. It's going to be hard if I keep my baby and I don't have the father in their life. It's going to be hard if I keep the baby and I have a hard time after late. Like raising a child is not hard, and not keeping your child. Raising your child is hard, but also not keeping your child is hard as well. So, and giving your child up for adoption can be hard. So none of these decisions are easy. So if I were to give you guys any type of advice, it would just be like, make sure it's something that you want to do. Whatever the decision is, 1 through 3, abortion, keeping the baby, adoption, make sure it's your choice because you have to live with it for the rest of your life. You have to live with it. Nobody can make the decision for you. Do not allow anybody to make the decision for you. Now, as I went along with my pregnancy, every day it got easier. After finding out the gender, it got even easier because I kind of started to build a bond. And so the moral of this story is this pregnancy was not expected. It was not planned, but we're here, we're in it, and I'm so excited to share my journey of pregnancy through the lens of a person that is blind, which is, I think it's going to be really interesting because I'm going to have to do things differently. And so I guess I'll have the world watching what it's like to prepare for a baby when baby gets here. What is it like being a mom again, to a little sweet bundle of joy? If you have any specific questions about how I found out, about ovulation, about anything that you want to know about pregnancy or my story, my journey, please leave it in the comment section below. The next video that I may do is going to be talking about my symptoms that I had up from week 1 to week 8, and I might do a bump shot. The way I'm sitting right now, I can't really do a bump shot. I mean, I guess you guys should be able to see my tummy. At the time of this video, recording it, I would have been 21 weeks. So I'm about halfway through. And if you guys want to know just about information about getting pregnant after you've had surgery, whether that is bariatric surgery or plastic surgery, because I have had both, I can give you some tips, some tricks, my experience about what I've gone through. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This pregnancy was not expected. It was not planned, but we're here now, and I'm so happy to bring you along for this journey. Stay tuned for the other videos about my pregnancy. And remember, you are beautiful inside and out. And don't forget to love yourself. I'm out this piece. Bye.